Hey everybody, it's Luke over at Galaxy Tech Review, and today I've got the MX10 Android TV box. This is an OTT TV box, runs on a Rockchip 3328. You can check it out on Amazon at the time of this review for $85. I'll have that link in the description below where you guys can check it out. Now, is this box worth it? We're going to dig into it right now to find out. Okay, so once you get everything unboxed, this is what you get. You're going to get several different things that we're going to cover here. Most notably, this is a 4 GB, 32 GB model. So you get 4 GB of RAM, you get 32 GB of storage. They gave me a European power adapter, but they also gave me an adapter to make it for North America, so you can do that. It's just an extra thing you have to plug in. It is a 5-volt, 2.5 amp charger that is 100 to 240 volts, so it is worldwide use on that. It is proprietary, so you will have to use the charger that they give you. They give you a full HDMI cable, which is always welcome to have an extra HDMI cable to hook up to whatever you're going to output this to. And this box is, of course, all 4K capable. Now, they have a overall pretty simplistic remote here with just basic volume, navigation functions, back, menu, home, and power, which is nice. I like that it's simplistic. It even has a mouse button function you can see at the bottom there. It takes 2 AAA batteries that are not included, but I like the simplistic approach that they use on that. Now, the user manual is more of a troubleshooting guide and kind of setup guide. There's really not a lot of statistics on what's included in this box. I will have those listed in the description below so that you guys can check all of that out. It's built on a Rockchip 3328. It has 4 GB of RAM and 32 GB of ROM. Obviously, you get Wi-Fi with it, 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. No Bluetooth, which we'll go over a little bit in the live demo. That was kind of a disappointment. Now, the box itself is pretty basic. MX10 logo on the top here. All around, you've got 3 USB ports on this right side. You have 2 USB 2.0 ports and 1 USB 3.0 port. And then, of course, you have a full SD card slot for local file access. So that's pretty cool that you get 3 and then a 4th USB port on the back. So that's awesome. You get plenty of those. SPDIF ports as well as an AV port. Now, they don't give you any cables for this, but they are pretty standardized with 3.5 millimeter. You do get an HDMI port on the back, Ethernet port, and a 5-volt DC in port as well. Nothing on the other side. And if we take a look at the bottom, there's plenty of venting for keeping the unit cool while it's running, and for little pads to keep it on the table for you. There's an LED that will light up when it's on. It's not too obtrusive, but it's really just there to know that you're getting power to the unit. Let's get into the live demo here, and I'll be right back. So here you have the main screen of the MX10, and I have this hooked up to a 40-inch 4K TV, so you'll be able to see what that looks like on a bigger screen there. Not an insanely big screen, but a 40-inch TV is a 40-inch TV. You can see we've got a bunch of different things. Media Center, My Favorites, My Apps. You've got access over here to the Play Store, and I do have a USB mouse hooked up to one of the 4 USB ports. You also get your time and date, weather, Chrome browser comes pre-installed, your settings and your files. Then you're going to have your Wi-Fi at the top here. You're going to have indicators of whether you have a USB drive inserted in one of the USB slots there, your Ethernet. And you do have this clean icon up here that will clear processes to keep your box running. Like if, say, you have like many programs open and you want to quickly clear them, you can do that right there. Let's take a look at our settings. Now, this pops out from the side. This does not take up the whole screen, which I think is actually pretty cool. So they did a pretty cool job on this minimalized skin here. You're going to see what Wi-Fi networks you have, which one you're connected to. You can adjust your proxy settings, your IP settings, your VPNs. You can create a VPN. You can do all of that right through network, so that's pretty cool. Sound. We're going to go into it, and you can see you can disable system sounds if you don't want them. Surround sound, you can set the modes for that. I leave it on auto. Your volume settings, audio device, obviously is going to be default output. I'm leaving it at default output, but you can also change it to SP, DIF pass-through, or HDMI bitstream. I left it on default, and it detected my HDMI no problem. Now HDMI for display, you can have you have your resolutions here. You can zoom the screen to fit your particular setup, or you can go into advanced settings, and here we have brightness, contrast, saturation, and tone. So you can really tailor this to the way you want it to look. Now, out of the box, it looks pretty good to me, so I didn't have to do too much there. You can check your apps here, and this is going to have what is already installed, your downloaded apps, system apps as well. So you can see as we can scroll down, we've got some system apps here. We do have Facebook, Netflix, Twitter, and YouTube that are pre-installed, and those are really the only things that are pre-installed, which is excellent. Again, this comes with a very minimalistic design, so that's pretty decent. This is your device storage here. You can click this to figure out how much you have left over from 32 gigabytes. And as you can see, we've got a 26 gigabytes available to us in our internal storage. You also can factory data reset your box from here. So if you need to do that, it's right there. If we go to About, we'll be able to check and see if we have a system update. You can restart the device from here, and this is either over-the-air updates that you can get. I did check already, and the current version still is 1.0.0, so there is no update available for this machine at this point. It is in the MX10. It is running Android 7.1.2, which is great. It's not running Oreo, but that's fine. The thing that kind of leaves me out there is we're running April 5th, 2017 Android security patch, which is pretty old. So you might want to take a look at that. But there's really not much that you can do with it because there's no updates. You can check the status of your network, serial numbers, and other information here as well. You've got your serial number, how long you've been up, your IP address, and your Wi-Fi MAC. Now, another thing is they don't include Bluetooth on this unit, and I would figure for an $80 box that you would at least get Bluetooth, something that they neglected to put in this model, and it's kind of a letdown. That's one of my cons on here to note. So you've got your language, keyboard, accessibility, more settings, security and restrictions, unknown sources if you want to sideload apps, and all of that as well. So say you wanted to add Kodi to this, you could just download the Kodi APK, put it on a USB drive, and actually install it. Here we have just our regular Chrome browser, and it works very well. No problems with that whatsoever. Another thing that you've got here in your app drawer, again, you've got full access to the Play Store, Facebook, Netflix, YouTube, Twitter, and that's pretty much it, along with Chrome. Everything else is pretty basic. So you're starting from a very clean box as it goes. You have full access to the Play Store here. No problems with that. You can load anything that the Play Store has out there, and that will pretty much run on this box as well. So that's always a great thing to have. They even throw in a basic calculator. You've got a media center here that'll play local video and audio files as well. You can add things to favorites. You've got a couple different icons, of course, for the Play Store, but there's not a lot of other things going on this box. You do have a dedicated music and movie icon down below, but you can add other things. Netflix is another one that comes pre-installed, works great out of the box, no problems whatsoever, very smooth, good on the scrolling, didn't have any problems with playing back files on that as well. So overall, no problems with Netflix. You do have that cleanup icon again, so you can clean processes out if you want to. We'll take a look at YouTube here in a second. So taking a look at the YouTube app that comes pre-installed, it's a little bit different than the normal app that you see in the Play Store. Here's my page, obviously. So it's got a cool layout to it. It's a little different than the setup that you would normally see in Android, so it takes a little bit of getting used to. I'm not a big fan. I would probably uninstall this and then install the one from the Play Store just so that you can see. Now you can see that our playback here is no problem. It looks really good. Plays everything back really well. It's just the navigation is more geared towards using a remote control versus a mouse and keyboard. which is fine. It's just not something that I like. I, again, would probably uninstall this version of YouTube and then just install the newest one from the Play Store. But overall, a really good picture. Nothing wrong with YouTube whatsoever, but as you can see, you've got kind of this weird menu that comes up that's different. You have to click at the bottom, and it only supports 1080p playback, which is kind of a shame because I have a 4K TV and the box supports 4K. So that's another con as far as just what is installed from the beginning. Fast forwarding is no problem. You can scrub through everything. That's not a big deal. There is a little bit of buffering issue when you scrub through this, but again, I'm thinking that it's just this pre-installed version. I think that if you were to uninstall this and just install the newest one from the Play Store, that you wouldn't have many issues here at all. You can kind of see that it's still trying to catch up with playback. But that's not due to the hardware. I think, again, this is just due to the YouTube app itself. So that's my review of the OTT MX10 Android TV box running on Android 7.1.2. A lot of things that I like about this box is it's very minimalistic in setup. Very simple home screen, not a lot of bloatware or anything like that installed on it already. You get 4 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of ROM. It's nice and snappy. Things that I don't like about this box, there is no inclusion of Bluetooth, which I think should just be mandatory, especially on a box that costs $80. Are there other boxes out there that you can get in the $50 to $60 range that will pretty much do the same thing? The answer is probably yes. If you're looking for a very clean and minimalistic build with a pretty much brand new build of Android, then this is something that you might want to take a look at. It's not a bad box in any way. There are just a few things that I wish they included, like 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. For an $80, $85 price range, you should get Bluetooth and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi no matter what. So I'm going to kind of give this an okay rating. I'm not going to give it a thumbs down because it performed very well and was very snappy, but I'm not going to give it a thumbs up either, because honestly, this box kind of falls short a little bit with the lack of Bluetooth and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi for the price point. This was Luke from Galaxy Tech Review. If you have any questions or comments about the MX10, please leave them in the comment section below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Remember to like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, because that always helps me out, and I'll check you guys out on the next video.
Oh, sunny day.